Well, good evening. A place in the quarter-finals of the AFC Champions League 2 is up for grabs tonight at the King Saud University Stadium as Al Nassr of the Saudi Pro League face Arkadag, the Turkmen champions, in this round of 16 second leg. Well, Al Nassr a goal up from the first leg, only need avoid defeat tonight to progress to the quarter-finals of the competition, where Emirati club Al Wasl await tonight's winners following their 6-5 aggregate extra-time win against Iraq's Al Zohar. Well, Al Nassr are looking for their first continental success for some 28 years when they lifted the old AFC Cup Winners' Cup back in 1998. It remains the Riyadh club's only AFC trophy to date. Arkadag, though, are only playing in their second AFC competition season, but already have one in the bag, having won the inaugural AFC Challenge League last season, but have faced a significant step up in quality of opposition in this season's second-tier competition, and certainly on paper at least couldn't face a tougher task to progress to the quarter-finals, especially given that they arrive here a goal down. Well, Al Nassr were busy winning 2-0 at Al Fateh at the weekend to stay in contention at the right end of the Saudi Pro League, while Arkadag remain in their off-season, having wrapped up a third successive Yokari Liga title back in December. In fact, completed their third successive domestic double. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo played and scored at the weekend, but takes the opportunity to sit out this evening again, having so far featured for just 45 minutes in the competition so far this season. Jorge Jesus going again largely with a second string 11, but does have the big guns on the bench this time, which he didn't have last week in the first leg. Well, Al Nassr certainly a team in form. They've won their last 8 games in all competitions. They haven't conceded a goal in their last 6. Defensively, they've been really sound, all since losing 3 successive games, beaten by Al Ahly, Al Qadisiyah and Al Hilal. But in 32 games this season, Al Nassr have lost just 4 times, winning 26 of them. And they have won their last 3 at home here in all competitions. 12 wins, 2 losses in their 14 home games this season. Only Al Qadisiyah and Al Ittihad have won here in domestic games. Their record is perfect so far in the AFC Champions League 2. They top Group D, winning all 6 of their games, rifling in 22 goals, conceding just 2, keeping up that sound defensive display that we've seen all season. And ended up finishing 9 points clear of Al Zawra at the top of the group. Sadio Mane there amongst Al Nassr's star-studded substitutes bench this evening. Well, they may only be playing sporadically at the moment. Arkadag, as I say, their season finished in December, but prior to the first leg last week against Al Nassr, they had won their last 6 games since a 1-1 draw in this competition against Uzbekistan side Andion back in November, and were 11 games unbeaten in all competitions. Gave a reasonable account of themselves last week, did Arkadag. Al Nassr clearly with the better quality. Arkadag's coach Orazov Mergen was talking about the step up in class, how hard that his side would have to work to get through to the quarter-finals, but was saying the one positive from the first leg last week was the fact that the deficit is only a single goal, and they remain very much in touching distance. Nassr will be hoping for a quick start this evening. The first leg last week was the first ever meeting between the 2 clubs. Tonight is only the 4th ever meeting against a club from Turkmenistan for Al Nassr. They won the first leg last week and both previous meetings against Arkadag, who they faced in the AFC Champions League group stage of 1995, and also in the AFC Cup Winners' Cup semi-final in 1998, en route to lifting the trophy. They'll be hoping that it is something of an omen that they face Turkmen opposition again in the knockout stage of a major continental competition. So the 2 sides make their way out. Perfect conditions. They know the opposition. It's a case of getting the job done for both these sides this evening. Arkadag win every game they play. Domestically, hasn't been the case though in AFC Champions League 2. finished second in their group, 1 point ahead of Al Khaldia of Bahrain, after beating them in the final match of the group to hop into the qualification spots. So the two sides have their usual meet and greet. You can see during that anthem there is a handful of support for the champions of Turkmenistan this evening, who, as in the first leg, will start the evening very much as the underdogs. Busy end to the season in store for Al Nassr, chasing on domestic and continental fronts. So they make 3 changes from the first leg win, with Nawaf returning in goal. Ex-Barca defender Inigo Martinez is recalled at centre-back, while Mohamed Maran starts on the wing. Young Brazilian Angelo will again get the opportunity to operate in a more central midfield role, with first leg match winner Abdullah Al-Hamdan again up front. Jorge Jesus does have the insurance this time around of Brozovic, Coman, Mane and João Felix on the bench. The captain of Arkadag, Abdi Bashimov, came off the bench in the first leg. Ayman Yahya wearing the armband for Al Nassr. The referee is from the Islamic Republic of Iran, Payam Haidari, as are his 2 assistants and the 4th official as well. The VAR officials hailing from Korea. So Arkadag need a single goal win to force extra time and perhaps penalties. Al Nassr will be mightily keen to get the job done within the 90 minutes. Arkadag generally keep a settled side, but they do switch up a couple from last week's first leg. Goalkeeper and back 4 remain in place, but captain Abdi Bashimov returns to the centre of midfield. Gurbanov, Balakov, Hyderov all start again in the attacking third, but Shamet Meredov, who came off the bench in the first leg, does start tonight. Final checks from the referee. About ready to go. So it's Al Nassr against Arkadag from the King Saud University Stadium in Riyadh in the round of 16 of the AFC Champions League 2. Al Nassr leading by 1-0 from the first leg, scored by Abdullah Al-Hamdan, their new signing. Al Wasl of the United Arab Emirates lie in wait in the quarter-finals for the winners of this tonight. There's Inigo Martinez. Now Nader. Al Nassr settling down into dominating possession as they did in the first leg in Ashgabat last week. Ball over the top for Maran to chase. Lifts it into the centre, too high for Ayman Yahya. Here's Mashari. Clipped on again by Al Hassan. Now Mashari. Arkadag side is littered with Turkmenistan internationals. In their own country, they are the immovable force. They have won every domestic league game since their inception in 2023. So much success for a club only 3 years in the making. Here's Mashari. Goes for the return again and finds his way through the Arkadag defence, and Al Nassr have scored inside 2 minutes. Fabulous play by Nawaf Mashari. And Arkadag's job has just got twice as hard in the opening couple of minutes of the second leg. The aggregate lead doubled to 2-0. Tucked away by Abdul Rahman Harib after some great work from Nawaf Mashari. Really positive right-back play that was. Maran involved in the build-up as well. And Harib did the rest. The worst possible start for Arkadag. And Al Nassr firmly in control of the tie already. Chariev tried to clear it away. Mamadov picks up the loose ball again for Arkadag. Chariev again out towards Hyderov. Saparov with the foot in. That will settle any early nerves if there was any. General air of confidence coming out of Al Nassr this season. There's Mashari. An electric start to the domestic campaign, winning their opening 10 Saudi Pro League games before they suffered a draw and 3 straight losses, which cost them top spot to rivals Al Hilal. They remain within a point. Inigo Martinez. Al Hilal, Al Nassr and Al Ahly, the sides very much involved in the title race domestically. Here's Maran, tried to slide it through. Arkadag bring it away towards Meredov. He was bundled over somewhat clumsily by Ayman Yahya. With Chariev, who could be in for a busy night tonight. But Nazarov was in space, and Arkadag's captain, Bashimov, is down. '71 now, Jorge Jesus, the Portuguese coach who took over in July after leaving Al Hilal. Following 2 years in charge, he led them to the Saudi Pro League title and Kings Cup double in 2003, 2023 I should say, and 24. No trophies last season though. Which is why Al Hilal opted for Simone Inzaghi, who'd done so well in Italy with Inter and Lazio. There's Chariev. And Mamadov. But Nazarov is in the centre. And Saparov. That's not a bad ball over the top. Forcing Nawaf quickly out of his area to clear it away. The ball has stayed in play though. But Nazarov with the touchback, and Saparov. Touch in from Sapaguliev. Chase on here for Beknazarov. Twisted and turned and got space for the cross, but straight into the hands of Nawaf. Relatively positive response though from Arkadag to the concession of that early goal. Haven't let the heads drop. The work rate remains. Here's Angelo. Often deployed on the wing domestically, but a more central role in continental competition, which he seems to be thriving in, the Brazilian. Vorazov, the coach of Arkadag, must be so frustrated at the concession of such an early goal. You can imagine that keep it tight for the opening half an hour would have featured somewhere in the pre-match team talk. Salem. Good work again from Al Nassr and Angelo. Hassan. Mashari out to Ayman. Clips the ball in behind and fizzed back across again from Al Hamdan. But it had gone behind for a goal kick. Did well to deliver any kind of ball. It did seem as though it was initially out of play, and certainly was the case. Hamdan, who, like the coach, George Jesus, made the switch across Riyadh from Al Hilal to Al Nassr. And only in the recent transfer window. With the arrival of Karim Benzema added to their plethora of attacking talent, he was deemed surplus to requirements, and Al Nassr pounced. Here's Nader. Ayman. Nawaf with the touchback to Nader. Al Hassan. Nice switch of play out to Ayman, the captain. Maran made the run for him. Here is Maran. Al Hamdan went for goal, but no real power on it to trouble Rezul Chariev. Didn't have the most prolific time of it at Al Hilal, just 7 goals in 90 appearances for Al Nassr's Riyadh rivals. Scored 5 in 44 for Al Shabab prior to that. Made a scoring start with the goal in the first leg here with Al Nassr. Harib. Clipped in again to Al Hamdan, who pulled it back across, but only Belmarat Balakov was there for Arkadag. Salam with the touchback. A lot of pace and willingness to get forward in their full-back positions, Al Nassr. Salem El Naji on the left side, and we've already seen the damage that Nawaf Mashari can do when he gets forwards, with his part in that opening goal for Abdul Rahman Harib. There's Anaguliev to Saparov. Touch off again from Bashimov. Foot in from Salem. Challenge from Anaguliev. Meshari. With a back four in the first leg, Arkadag, but it is looking more like a 5 this evening. Certainly when they don't have the ball, Bashimov sits in between Sapaguliev and Mamadov. Sliding challenge from Maran. Maradov has stayed down. Here's Angelo. Now Hamden. Now Hassan getting the foot in. Now Angelo. Meshari. Ayman. Meshari went for the return. Here's Hyderov. Chance to spring on the counter here, but given away by Meredov straight to Harib, the goal scorer. Harib again, Angelo. Now Nader. Clipped into the penalty area, but just too much on it in the end. Well, there's the opening goal. Positivity of Nawaf, the movement of Harib, and the Arkadag defence, in truth, largely on their heels. It's a perfect ball for the run of Harib. And the perfect start to the second leg. 2-0 on aggregate. Sapaguliev beaten to that. Throw for Arkadag. Always difficult in continental competition for clubs whose season doesn't run in line with them. The summer season in Turkmenistan from March to December, and it's part of the reason why the J-League are switching to match the Saudi Pro League and the AFC competitions to an autumn to spring campaign. Well, they're in confident mood tonight, and why wouldn't they be? Their side in control of the tie. Time champions of Saudi Arabia, but not since 2019. Throw into the penalty area. Hamdan had a bit of a high boot there. The referee has waved play on though, and now Harib charges forward for Al Nassr. Chance to switch it out here to Ayman. It's a good ball from Harib. Just lost a bit of the momentum in that attack though. Here's Al Hassan. Martinez. Now Harib. Into Angelo. Maran, the little flick off. Saparov pouncing on the loose ball though for Arkadag. Here's Gurbanov. And wins the free kick. Buys a little bit of respite for the Arkadag defence. Had a difficult time of it in the first leg. Here's Gurbanov. the more creative players in the Arkadag side. Saparov. Chariev was a measured ball out. Held up by Gurbanov. It's a Arkadag throw. Bashimov. Guliev chasing back and keeping the ball in play. Guliev in again towards Balakov. And the ball switched into the penalty area way too early, though. An easy claim for Nawaf. Well, they didn't take many chances at all as the home side in the first leg. Arkadag, something they're going to have to do now in the second leg, especially with the early concession of that second goal. Now Hassan. George Jesus will be hoping that his second string can get the job done. Won't have to dip into his bench too much. There's Angelo. Now Hassan with the ball through. Ayman Yahya with the touchback again. Maran shifts it on one more. Harib plays it out to Al Hamdan. And he loses out to Gurbanov. And back again though by Harib. Al Hamdan. Shifted it on one too many. Here's Harib again though. In towards Maran. Now Ayman. And the free kick goes against Mohamed Maran. He was attempting the overhead kick, I think. It went horribly wrong. Sapaguliev bore the brunt of it. Free kick for Arkadag, 19 minutes gone. Trailing 1-0 on the night, 2-0 on aggregate. Reached the semi-finals of the AFC Champions League Elite last season. Al Nassr, they were beaten by J-League side Kawasaki Frontale 3-2. Having overcome Yokohama F. Marinos, another J1 side in the quarter-finals. Another quarter-final is coming up very quickly on the horizon now with this 2-0 leads. Free kick for Al Nassr, quickly taken. Here's Al Hassan. Ayman. Now Mashari. Hassan shifts it on one more. With Martinez. Ayman. Space here for Al Hassan. They do sit very deep when Al Nassr are in possession, Arkadag. Not a great deal of pressure on the ball early on. Ayman. Shifted on by Angelo to Al Hamdan. Too many blue shirts between him and the goal though, and gets it back from Salem. Martinez. Harib, such a live wire. Nawaf, Substitutions looking to pounce. And finally, possession does break down, and Arkadag can charge forward. Hyderov after this one, but beaten to it by Nassr, who covered well. It's just the kind of opportunity they're waiting for, though, Arkadag. Even then, they didn't exactly flood forward. Had Hyderov got on the ball, he would have been very isolated. Only really Meredov anywhere near him. Hyderov beaten to that by Nawaf. They've got the pace in the fullback positions as well. Gurbanov and Hyderov are both struggling to win foot races against Salem and Meshari. There's Nawaf Meshari again. Ayman. Cleared away by Bashimov. Now Angelo. Nader. Got far up, the Al Nassr centre-backs are able to push. Really condensing things for Arkadag. Hassan to Angelo. Angelo won the ball initially, but Ayman was on him in no time. Al Nassr since 2019 as Ayman Yahya, tonight's captain. Born in Riyadh. Came through the youth ranks at Al Nassr, has 23 caps for Saudi Arabia. Nader. Nader. It was a poor ball to Al Hassan. It's picked up by Beknazarov. Launched by Chariev. There's Harib. Slides it through to Maran, who went for the toe poke finish. Just the wrong side of the post, but once more Hamid Maran involved and Abdul Rahman Harib. Neat little touch through from the left winger, but Maran poking it the wrong side of the post. Belikov beaten to that. Nassr first to everything in this opening 25 minutes is Inigo Martinez. Now Nader. Meshari again hugging the touchline. Martinez. Just got all the time in the world to pick their passes. Martinez and Nader, the Al Nassr centre-backs when they're in possession. Free kick for Arkadag. Yeah, it was clumsy from Al Hassan. Straight into the back of Beknazarov. Paguliev with the header. Hyderov touching it out for a rather cheap Al Nassr throw. There's Harry. And Salem. Utterly dominant Al Nassr. Well, the club's nickname is Al Zaim, which means the boss. They're certainly bossing this encounter. Mashari. Cleared away by Saparov again. They just can't get out, Arkadag. Lovely, neat bit of skill from Abdul Rahman Harib. Martinez. There's Nader. Harib into Angelo. Salem. Harib seeing plenty of the ball, which can only be good for Al Nassr in terms of their creativity. Already has his name on the score sheet. There's Nader. Now Ayman. Sixth goal of the season, that Harib in all competitions, is fourth in the AFC Champions League 2. There's Mashari. Ayman got a bit fortunate there, but he's overrun that. Fedorov just blocking him out of it, but he wasn't getting there anyway, the Al Nassr captain. Perhaps the arm, when you see it from that angle, perhaps the upper arm was a bit high. Certainly caught Ayman. Despite his long coaching career, Jorge Jesus has only ever won one continental title as a coach. Relatively recently as well. 7 years ago, led Flamengo, the Rio club, to the Copa Libertadores, the South American equivalent of the Champions League. Martinez wins the free kick. Mashari. Ayman. Away from Bashimov. Mashari again to Maran. Mashari so lively, exchanging passes with Ayman. Maran picks up on the loose ball. Touches it on to Alhamdan. Now Ayman in behind, couldn't get the shot away though. But it is a corner for Al Nassr, blocked behind by Belikov, the Arkadag captain. You get the impression the second goal could be coming for Al Nassr. Angelo with the ball in, the header away by Bashimov. Salem. There's Nader. Mashari, Maran, Harib, the players who are seeing an awful lot of the ball in yellow. Sapaguliev, now a chance for Hyderov maybe to get at Nader. Meredov up in support. Foot in by Mashari, but it's an Arkadag ball. Well, they could easily have collapsed after conceding that very early goal from Abdulrahman Harib. They definitely haven't done that, Arkadag. They are sticking to the game plan. The early goal hasn't seen them deviate. Hasn't seen them overly gamble either and leave themselves open for more Al Nassr goals. Set pieces, though, represents an opportunity for the team in blue. Now after the Al Nassr goalkeeper being surrounded. It's a deep in-swinger, lands on the top of the goal. Much for the relief of Nawaf, Saudi Arabian international goalkeeper. He's actually playing for the first time since the 12th of January when he was sent off on the hour mark in a 3-1 loss to Al Hilal in the Riyadh derby. First time he's played since then. First time he's featured in this competition at all. The Brazilian goalkeeper Bento Mateus played last time out. Salem. By Martinez. Now Hassan to Mashari, who again has so much pace. Here's Ayman. Harib. Salem on the overlap. Comes in field to Angelo, though. Hassan to Nader. Ayman. Barely getting a touch of the ball at the moment, Arkadag. Well held up by Angelo. Here's Nader, now Martinez. Mashari. Sapaguliev was trying to close him down. Ball over the top. Hamden on the end of it, and it wasn't a bad strike either. Didn't get hold of it in the way he would have liked, but the angle of the shot very nearly getting the better of Rezul Chariev. Sapaguliev unable to close him down in time. To score in the Saudi Pro League for Al Nassr, but scoring his first game of this competition for them in the first leg. Al Hassan. Well, there is the great man watching on, and listen to the reaction when he was showed on the big screen. Here's Mashari. Been quite outspoken this season about the lack of transfer activity, Al Nassr Ronaldo. Here's Ayman. Cross into the box. born out of that burning desire for more success for a player who has achieved so much in the game. Remarkable drive. Now Hassan. Now Mashari. By Al Hamdan. Now Hassan again. The referee getting in the way of Angelo's pass. There's Mashari. Sapakuliev pouncing this time as Mashari miscontrols. Bashimov trying to get some distance on that throw. Here's Gurbanov. His starting position is on the right, but often has to come infield just to try and involve himself in the game, Gurbanov. And there for Salem now. It was quite a clattering he took there. A flailing boot in the face, completely accidental. Salem El Naji, who signed at the start of last season from Al Fateh, the side that Al Nassr beat at the weekend. As we see, the only goal of the evening so far, scored by Abdul Rahman Harib. That's one that he'd have certainly tucked away, wasn't it? Scored the opening goal at Al Fateh at the weekend after 18 minutes. Ronaldo. Ayman, tonight's captain, scored the other. .41 now, Cristiano Ronaldo, but has registered 18 goals in 19 appearances in the Saudi Pro League this season. Competition he's certainly being saved for. As I was saying, he's played just one half of football in the AFC Champions League 2. Played the first half of the 5-1 win against Al Zora. There's Mashari. It's a lovely ball to Harib. Played into the centre towards Ayman. It was a timely challenge from Bashimov. And now Balakov has played his side into trouble, and it's just the wrong side of the post from Al Hamdan. Well, he's gone close twice. Should have been cleared here by Balakov. He dwelt on the ball. Ayman put him under pressure. And now Hamdan unable to hit the target, trying to cut it back to the near post. Took a deflection though, it is a corner. 5 minutes to half time. Just the third of the game, the second for Al Nassr. 2-0 up, remember, on aggregate. Arkadag get it away. Here's Salem. Harib. Now Hassan. Now a chance maybe to counter for the Turkmen champions. It's played through to Hyderov. It was a poor ball though. Now I've read it, cleared it away. Just didn't have the legs to get through to Hyderov, but that was certainly an opportunity for Arkadag. Nazarov. Spread out by Chariev. Gurbanov and Hyderov both made runs. There is Hyderov. They've switched wings for the moment. Fedorov chancing his arm against Salem, and Gurbanov up against Mashari. It's in towards Meredov. And that's a corner. Nice touch off Nader Al-Sharari. João Felix. Certainly has a star-studded bench tonight, isn't it? Sadio Mane, another. Mohamed Simakan amongst the substitutes as well. Marcelo Brozovic. Nazarov laid it short. Dangerous ball in and gathered by Nawaf. You're an Arkadag player, you must be thinking, yeah, we're doing okay, but look what they've got on the bench to bring on should it go south for Al Nassr. A tug on the shirt from Balakov on Angelo. I'll tell you what, if somebody had attacked that, that was a decent ball into a decent area. It bounced before Nawaf was able to gather it. Shake of the head from Brozovic. Simakan on the left there enjoying a laugh as well with his teammates. It's really good spirits in the Al Nassr ranks. It'll be interesting when Jorge Jesus decides to go full strength in this competition. Here's Angelo. Will he go with the players that have got them deep into it? Perfect record so far. 7 straight wins, including 6 out of 6 in the group stage. Heading for win number 8 now. Here's Salem. Mashari. Swings the cross in, and the header goalwards well off the mark. Sapaguliev launches it forwards. Solid header again from Balakov. And a free kick given from the foul of Martinez on Gurbanov. He certainly made the most of it. Haven't been able to have any sort of concerted spell of possession, let alone pressure. Arkadag very much forced to play on the counter and try and make set pieces count. Guliev. Cut out by Salem and again by Martinez. Saparov. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of this first half, and Sapaguliev. Oh, that was a better ball towards Meredov. He just didn't have the legs to get there. It's been 1 or 2 openings in this first half for Arkadag. They just haven't had the craft to produce a chance from them. Hassan. Mashari. Nader to Martinez. Maran was available. Angelo just holding it up instead though, and using Martinez. Hassan, here's Angelo again. Salem. Salem swings it in early this time. The header away by Bashimov. Nazarov ran into trouble. Here's Harib. Nader. 5 seconds of the first half. Could Al Nassr grab another one before the break? Angela. By Nader. It's Martinez. Salem. Well, a week ago, Al Nassr led 1-0 at half-time in the first leg. It proved to be enough, the goal on 19 minutes from Abdullah Al-Hamdan. They scored even earlier this week with Abdul Rahman Harib touching in inside 2 minutes to put Al Nassr firmly in control of this round of 16 tie. It is a massive 45 minutes ahead for Arkadag. Half-time here, it's Al Nassr 1, Arkadag 0. Al Nassr lead 2-0 on aggregate.
كذا كذا جبتها. من هو؟ ايش قال لك؟ كذا رفشتم لحستم حوس. ها بالله حستم حوس. مزحلقيني انا يا ولد بالله يا ولد مزحلقيني انا استغربت. مزحلقيني انا ولا مرة خلت 17. ها 17-9 غثوني يا رجل غثوني.
Welcome back to the King Saud University Stadium. Al Nassr leading Arkadag by 1-0 at half-time, 2-0 on aggregate. Looks as though Orazov has made his move from the substitutes bench. And that is Didar Durdiev, who started the first leg up front, left on the bench this evening, but he is now on. And so the second half underway here in Riyadh. Al Nassr 2-0 up on aggregate against Arkadag, the champions of Turkmenistan, the AFC Challenge League winners last season, the third-tier competition. To cause a real upset here in the 45 minutes that remain to force extra time. Straight swap, by the way. Durdiev on for Meredov. Now Hassan. Now Martinez. Harry. Such a good manipulator of the ball, just buying himself a bit of time and space there. There's Mashari. Continues his run forward. Ayman brings it infield to Al Hassan. Now Angelo. There's Salem in behind. Oh, lofts the cross in. It was an attempt that nobody really gambled, and in the end, Chariev gathers it at the second attempt. By Beknarazov. Gurbanov. It's a better ball in. May get a second attempt at it. Block this time, though, Gurbanov. Support from Mamedov. Cross into the box again, and Durdiev went down a little easily. Big yelp as he threw himself to the floor, but there was two of them offside as the ball came in anyway. Here's Mashari. Around with the touch off, it's a Al Nassr throw. Hassan into Angelo. Martinez out to Salem. Gurbanov. Nazarov. That's a better ball. Out to Hyderov, who just couldn't control it. And then commits a foul in his desperation to pick up the loose ball. To keep their outside hopes alive, the next goal really does have to be an Arkadag goal. Salim. There's Nader. Inigo Martinez. It's a good ball. Picks out Harib. It's one of those players, you never know where he's going to pop up, Abdul Rahman. Harib, he can hug the touchline, he can be in the midst of things in and around the edge of the penalty area. That was that ball in from Salem, which Razil Chachiev was struggling with initially. Wasn't the best piece of defending either from Sapaguliev, but he got fortunate. And his mishit attempt at a clearance went straight back to his own goalkeeper. There's Martinez. Harib. Winning the challenge, but it's a throw for Al Nassr. At Benfica to 3 Portuguese league titles. And the Brasileirão title with Flamengo as well in 2019. Same season as he won the Copa Libertadores with them. Turkish Cup winner with Fenerbahce. He's the route to a trophy or two in his 35 years now as a manager. Here's Angelo. Harry towards Al Hamdan. Into Al Hassan. Angelo went for the return, and there's a deflection on that shot. And looking to add to the goal that he scored at the weekend. There's a good defensive block. It's another Al Nassr corner, despite the efforts of Chariev. Angelo trying to find a bit of space at the front post. The ball is delivered deep though. And the header over the top from Al Hamdan. Angelo. The return from Harib. Just holds onto the ball for a tad longer though and picks out Al Hassan. And Maran running it into trouble, and it's cleared away by Mamedov. It's coming back as quickly as they're clearing it though for Arkadag. Here's Angelo. Oh, lovely ball from Angelo into Ayman, and that is 2-0 to Al Nassr, although the flag is up. Lovely football again from Al Nassr to open up Arkadag. Angelo plays it through. I think he was just offside, Ayman. Just needed to hold that run for a second longer. And that certainly would have wrapped up a place in the quarter-finals. And it is going to be ruled out. There's Saparov. Salim. Angelo. Out by Nader to Mashari. Ayman. Now Hassan. Nazarov battling away for the ball, and Anaguliev picking up the loose ball. Continues his charging run forward, but gathered by Nawaf. And now he needs to get back, Anaguliev. Well, certainly slow sometimes in their build-up, Al Nassr. Can overplay a bit at times. It's been the case again here this evening. Nawaf clipped out to Harib. Mamadov looking to close him down, but it's played into Al Hamdan. Maran ahead of him. Here's Harib. Angelo knew exactly where Harib wanted it. It's a good ball as well. Fizzes the ball across. Oh! Off the inside of the post from Maran. And Al Nassr inches away from the third goal in the tie. It surely will kill off the resistance of Arkadag. Here's Ayman. Mashari. Certainly getting closer, aren't they? Ayman's goal ruled out for offsides, rightly so. Mohamed Maran so unlucky. A matter of millimetres away from making it 3-0 on aggregate. Nawaf clears it away. Very alert Nawaf, especially for a goalkeeper who's had very little to do in the game this evening. Every time there's been a semblance of Arkadag getting in behind the Al Nassr defence, Nawaf is there to clear. Hyderov. Well, great play between Harib and Angelo. And Maran really unfortunate. 26-year-old who's scored just the once this season. That goal coming in this competition. He's only featured twice in the Saudi Pro League. Scored in the 4-0 win here against FC Goa back in November. Two appearances in the Saudi Pro League, but that's amassed to just 5 minutes of action. Look lively tonight though, Maran. As Harib wins the throw. It's given Al Nassr a good opportunity to give the second string some really competitive action. It is the AFC Champions League elite where they want to be next season. Desperate to win that trophy for the first time. Salem. Only once have they reached the final, back in 1995 when they lost to a golden goal in extra time to Ilwa Chumna of the Korea Republic. That was in the old Asian Club Championship, the forebearer of the AFC Champions League and Champions League Elite as it is now. Reached the semi-finals 3 times of the top competition, all since 2020. This is a competition, they will feel they have a very, very good chance of winning. That's the only goal of the night so far. It was lovely precision football to cut apart Arkadag. Arad with the easy task in the end of touching the ball across the line. Now Nassr free kick as we approach the hour mark. Hyman and Angelo don't fancy this. And certainly offers plenty of height in there if needed. Angelo to Salem. A bit of a meal of that set piece in the end, Al Nassr. Got them nowhere. Here's Angelo. Mamadov is desperate to get back on. They're defending with 10 at the moment. Arkadag. Waved on by the referee. Here's Durdiev to Gurbanov. The ball back to Durdiev was a poor one. He's complaining to the referee that he fouled his teammate. Yazglik. Gurbanov was fouled after he released the ball. Now Hassan. Ayman. It's a strong challenge from Balakov, who still has it. They've got bodies forward here. Balakov switches it out to Mamadov, but wasn't the best ball, but Mamadov picks it up anyway and gets the shot away, and Nawaf with the save. And just a warning there for Al Nassr not to be too casual. Better strike there from Mamadov, and Nawaf may have been in trouble. In the end, it was a relatively routine save. By Nader. Mashari. Here's Martinez. Flick off from Salem. Balakov has overplayed it. Gurbanov didn't look interested in making the run. The miscommunication between the two Arkadag players. Maran. Another League Cup game to come at the weekend for Al Nassr. They play Al Hazem. Games with Al Faiha and Neom on the horizon as well. Angelo to make two more changes. Arkadag. Mamadov is going to come on. Oh, he's through for just a second there was Durdiev. I think attempted to lob Nawaf, and he didn't get underneath the ball at all. And again, another warning shot from Al Nassr. Arkadag beginning to be a bit more expansive in their play. Ilyas Mamadov and Ahmed Atayev are going to come on for Arkadag. Both midfield players. So Gurbanov is coming off. And Balakov making way as well. Apologies, it's not Sapar Mamadov coming on, it's Mirat Berdiev. It was 9 and not 8. My eyes deceiving me. Mirat Berdiev on. Straight swap for Gurbanov. And Ahmed Atayev will come on in midfield for Balakov. There's Martinez. Now Harry. 25 minutes for Arkadag to find 2 goals. And now, movement on the Al Nassr bench. There's Martinez. Already hugging the touchline. Marcelo Brozovic is one of those ready to come on. Abdul Karim as well. There's Harry and João Felix. So a couple of their superstars ready to be thrown into the action for the last 25 minutes. Over the top. Sapaguliev to chase, but he couldn't get that. And Mashari clears it away. Whistle has gone though. Free kick for Al Nassr. He's well offside, Sapaguliev. Hassan to Mashari, now Nader. It's been the best spell they've had over the 2 legs actually, Arkadag. Hasn't borne any fruit though in terms of a goal back in the game. Martinez. Here's Salem. Space to dig the cross out, but it's found its way to Al Hamdan. Here's Harry. Angelo. And tried to flick the ball through, did well to retrieve the loose ball. Angelo. And Harry with the little touch back off to the Brazilian. Now Salem. It's an inviting cross, just a tad too high. Ayman hits it, and over the top. And now they can make their changes. Angelo being replaced by Brozovic. And Naran for João Felix. Hader on to replace Al Hassan, so the midfield 2 have been completely changed. There's João Felix. Very nearly played Al Hamdan in immediately. Goals in 31 appearances for Al Nassr this season across the competition. João Felix, he scored 4 and 6 in the AFC Champions League 2. the target, though. In 10 games, João Felix, he's produced 4 assists in that time, since his last goal for the club in the 2-2 draw with Al Ettifaq back in December. So still awaiting his first goal of 2026, the Portuguese forwards. Here's Salem. Certainly started the opening half of the campaign in prolific fashion. Guliev back to Chariev. Saparov. It's a free kick for Arkadag. Mammadov. Do well to get through there. Good pressure from Hayder. He comes away with the ball. Good play initially, but not the best distribution. Gets it back though, and here's Brozovic. On by Mashari. Hamdan chasing. Brozovic. Ayman. Well, Hamdan must have been delighted to see João Felix come on. Imagine the service and the balls into him will go up no end in terms of their quality. Here's Hayder. Harry. João Felix, little touch from Harry, back to João Felix, but cleared away this time. And the substitute, Atayev. Guliev is the player down for Arkadag. Just caught by the challenge of Salem. I think João Felix trod on the foot there of Beknazarov as well. And the header on in behind. Berdayev with the touch back. Guliev's ball in. Able to pick out anybody in blue. There's Ayman. Mashari outside him. And Hamdan pulls away. Here's the delivery. Hamdan's header is off target. And Saparov completes the clearance. And the flag is up. It is a corner to Al Nassr. It's a lovely ball in. A disappointing header, really, from Al Hamdan. Guliev is coming off for Arkadag. The left-sided wing-back. He's being replaced by Melis Diniev. On them with a corner to defend. It's an attacking move. He's a more attack-minded player than Guliev. Brozovic's corner. Needs must now for Arkadag. They need 2 goals and we're heading towards the final quarter of an hour. Salem. Hayder. Martinez. By Salim. Nassr win the throw. They've had their one or two moments in the game, Arkadag, but again, haven't really looked like scoring. It's been a very similar contest to the first leg in Ashgabat. Felix beaten to that. Hyderov. Dispossessed by Salem. Here's Harib. Haider. So good in the wide positions, Al Nassr. Mashari and Ayman on the far side. Salem and Harib on the near side. Salem again. So the last quarter of an hour then. 1-0 Al Nassr on the night, 2-0 on aggregate. It's given away though to Hyderov. It's an ambitious effort from there, and it was on target as well. Aware that Nawaf's starting position is pretty high, the Al Nassr goalkeeper. Wasn't a bad strike at all from Hyderov. There's Martinez. Salem touches it one side and runs the other, but Diniev is there. Cleared by the substitute. And that's behind for a goal kick. Worth a try. He was off his line, just didn't get the height on it. And Nawaf alert enough to get across. It was on target though. More changes. Ryman being replaced. In comes Kingsley Coman. Sam Hanaji making way as well. Kingsley Coman on with Sultan Al Ghanam. So that's the 5 used tonight for Al Nassr. By Coman. It's picked up though by Atayev. Brozovic stepping in. Here's Beknazarov. Mamadov's gone charging into the area. That's not a back cross in, and that's a good save from Nawaf. And now the whistle has gone. Samet Hyderov in there, got his head to it, but Nawaf was right on him. He would have been offside anyway. Wouldn't have counted, but Nawaf didn't know that. Good goalkeeping. That's his clean sheet tonight. 21 caps for Saudi Arabia since breaking into the national team in 2023. And so youth player is from Riyadh. Here's Harib. Martinez to Nader. Mashari. Switched across to the left side with the introduction of Sultan Al Ghanam, 31-year-old who's made over 200 appearances for Al Nassr since joining in 2018. Taken over the captain's armband since coming on. Too much on that. That's an easy gather for Chariev. Ghanam is the official vice-captain of the club behind Cristiano Ronaldo. Foot in from Mashari. Here's Brozovic. Now Mashari. Brozovic onto Nader. Sultan's ball forward is cut out by Bashimov. It's been as comfortable as a two-legged tie could be, with a scoreline of only 2-0 on aggregate. Less than 10 minutes away from winning this time, really in second or third gear, Al Nassr. Plenty more to come from them in the quarter-finals and beyond, maybe. Certainly will start as favourites against Al Wasl of the United Arab Emirates. As they did here, we'll have the second leg at home. Martinez. Harib. João Felix couldn't take the ball with him, got it stuck under his feet somewhat. There's Martinez. Atayev Bayram is going to be the final change for Arkadag. Just got to throw forwards on now. Harib. Haider, 21-year-old Iraqi midfielder. There's Kingsley Coman. He's pulled up there somewhat worryingly. It's always a worry when you see a player do that with nobody really around him. Used all their substitutes, Al Nassr, as well, so if there is a problem here, he will finish with 10. Haidarov going off. Here comes Atayev. Was a yellow card shown there. I think it was potentially to Mergo Vorozov, the coach of Arkadag. Does he just land, put his foot down awkwardly there, maybe, Coman? Yeah, he twisted his ankle. That's what happened. It's not a soft tissue effort, which is always the concern when you see a player pull up like that, but he's just planted his foot awkwardly and turned his ankle a bit. If you catch those in time, you can get away with them, and let's hope that's the case for Kingsley Coman, who's still working his ankle over a bit there off the ball. Nazarov, Diniev, fed into the 6-yard box. Now Nassr with enough bodies there to get it away though before Ataev could pounce. Saparov, Miraberdiev couldn't get that goal kick. Al Nassr. Well, the quarterfinals will be the 1st and 2nd week of March. So certainly seem as though they're on their way there. Will certainly be big favourites to make it through to the final from the West region. Pohang Steelers and Gamba Osaka, the sides from Korea Republic and Japan, are facing off against each other, so one of them will go out. I imagine the winner of that one would be a potential finalist. Here's Nawaf. Now Martinez. Brozovic. Back from Harib. Just picking their passes with ease, Al Nassr, to keep possession. Haider with the ball out to Sultan. Martinez. Tried to thread the eye of a needle with that ball, didn't he? No chance of getting it through there. Mamedov back to Chariev. There's Anaguliev. He slipped and Harib took the ball away from him. And the yellow card is out. Wondered for a second if it was going to be worse than that for him. Yeah, heavy touch, lost his footing and then hooked down Harib when he realised he'd lost possession. Can't see from that angle whether or not he would have been through on goal. Kick for Al Nassr. Brozovic fan obviously amongst the Al Nassr supporters. A couple of minutes to go, plus whatever time is added on. A free kick for Al Nassr. There's a defender covering, which is why it was yellow for Anaguliev. Brozovic and Mashari both fancy this. And they are checking a possible red card here. Well, he certainly knew what he was doing, Anaguliev. Heavy touch, slipped. He was away. That's where that covering defender was. which is going to be significant here. Yeah, I tell you what, would he have been away? He takes that ball on and gets a good touch. He's goal side, isn't he, of the defender that was covering. It's the referee's interpretation of this, really, which is quite often what it's down to. To argue that's not a goal-scoring opportunity, even though he's coming in from the angle. Expect Nazarov, who was coming across. I think this yellow card is going to be cancelled, isn't it? Yeah, and it is a red card for Anaguliev. And Arkadag will finish the game down to 10. I mean, it was certainly cynical. And I think with the pace of Harib, he was heading on into the penalty area. Anaguliev knew that, and so hooked him down. And the yellow card is upgraded to a red. Brozovic. Flick on to Harib, who can't get the shot away, but does win the corner. Six minutes to be added on at the end. There's Brozovic. Nassr were looking for the third goal that would have put the tie beyond doubt. I think the red card has probably just done that, if it wasn't anyway. Diniev is offside. Timing of the runs when they have had their counters has been poor from Arkadag. Here's Harib. Meshari. There's Brozovic. Hayder. Seems to be moving okay again. Kingsley Coman. Sultan. Hayder to Brozovic. Here's Martinez. Harib. Created a plethora of chances in the second half, Al Nassr. They had the goal ruled out by Ayman, the effort off the inside of the post from Mohamed Maran. If it remains like this, it will be a 7th successive game in which Al Nassr have kept a clean sheet. That is most certainly a strong building block for success. Sultan covers. There's Meshari. He will have conceded only 2 goals in 8 matches in this competition. Hayder. Martinez. Harib. Now Brozovic. Coman. João Felix. It's a good ball to Sultan in space. He digs the cross out. Over Diniev. Picked up by Meshari. Really positive run into the penalty area, and Meshari has picked up the loose ball, and Arkadag just about scramble it away. Here's Hayder, who's yet to play for the full Iraq national team. He's been capped at under 20 and under 23 level. Still only 21, and I'm sure that first cap won't be long in coming. Hayder. There's Brozovic. Coman. There's Harib. They send their fans home with another goal to cheer Al Nassr. Time running out though, just 90 seconds or so remaining. Brozovic, Coman. Space to use here. Kingsley Coman just tried to scoop it up. Oh, it fell invitingly for Al Hamdan in the end. Now Mashari. Here's Harib. Trying to force this third goal in the tie. Brozovic. João Felix. Oh, it's a lovely flick from João Felix to Mashari, who squares it. Al Hamdan can't finish it off. Chariev with the save. Coman hits it. And blocked away again by Bashimov in the end. Well, they may be losing, they may be going out, but their goal has lived somewhat a charmed life in the second half. Arkadag. Martinez. João Felix. Coleman dwelt on it with Hayder. Harib. Here's Hayder. Brozovic. All the way through for João Felix, and it's cleared away by Bashimov. Well, the one positive for this from Arkadag will be they've tested themselves against one of the continent's best. And they've been far from humiliated. This was lovely play by Al Nassr. It would have capped a fine performance over the two legs, and now Hamdan can't believe he hasn't scored. It was a good save from Chariev. And while you're watching that replay, the final whistle has gone. 1-0 in both legs. Enough for Al Nassr. Kingsley Coman seems okay after landing awkwardly on his ankle, but a goal just 2 minutes in from Abdul Rahman Harib, adding to the goal from Abdullah Hamdan in the first leg. And Al Nassr move through to the quarter-finals, where they will face Al Wasl of the United Arab Emirates. It's finished here tonight. Al Nassr 1, Arkadag 0. Al Nassr progressed 2-0 on aggregate.
C37